need to live within our economic and environmental means so that we have a future we're proud to hand on to our children. Hello, I'm Jonathan Chilvers and I'm the Green Party candidate for the general election coming up on June the 8th in Warwick and Leamington. I'm here today in the centre of Warwick to talk about how we can create that environment and economy. Back in 2008, after the financial crash, the Conservatives told us that we couldn't carry on how we were and that we needed to cut public services. Labour told us that it wasn't their fault, and anyway they'd abolished boom and bust. So the Conservatives had one thing right, but one thing very wrong. They were right that we couldn't continue on the way we were, that we needed to change and reform, but they were wrong to say that we had to do this purely at the expense of our schools, hospitals and public services. We are still the 5th largest economy in the world, and we can properly fund these things if we want to. There is a different way of doing things. We can look after the pounds while still creating a fairer society, but that's not a choice that the Conservatives have been making. 2 examples. 11 EU countries have signed up to a financial transaction tax which would raise over £5 billion whilst curbing the worst excesses of financial stock market speculation. And yet the Conservatives have repeatedly chosen not to sign up to this. We lose up to £70 billion a year through tax evasion and avoidance, and yet the Conservatives have chosen not to beef up the HMRC to recover some of those funds. Many people voted for the Conservatives in good faith in 2010 and 2015, and yet they've been cutting the things that many of us value and are trying to make work. But we also need to live within our environmental means. We're currently gobbling up our resources on a finite planet in order to try and grow our economy. If we're going to have a future to hand on to our children, we need to do things differently. We've already shown in a small way that we can change what we do through things like the plastic bag tax. And yet the Conservatives have chosen not to do something similar in introducing something to curb the millions of coffee cups that we throw away every day. We would use less energy if we built higher quality housing, but the Conservatives relaxed regulation following listening to the big construction companies with an eye on profit. Rather than follow the old oil and energy companies, we would invest in insulation and renewable technology that will deliver the jobs for the future. Businesses, especially small businesses, often tell me that they want to find solutions to these issues, but they need a responsible government that are going to put the regulations in place that can help make it happen. The Labour Party can't even responsibly manage their own party, let alone the country. And the Conservatives have irresponsibly chosen to side with the old, broken way of doing things, which risks our children's future. We don't have to make the same choice. There is an alternative. I will stand up for positive and practical solutions so that as a country we can live within our economic and environmental means. I will push for a responsible government that plans for our future so that our children don't have to pay our economic and environmental debt. A vote for me on June the 8th is a vote for an economy and an environment that we will be proud to hand on to our children. Thank you.